Hello everyone, welcome to DSC JSSSTU's YouTube channel. I am Prithvi, the UI UX lead at the club. We all had met with our first episode of DSC Samvad back in November 2020, and now we are back here with our second episode titled as Road to Abroad, All You Need to Know About Education Overseas. The speaker for today is Mr. Indrajeet Prasad, who will be giving you the information and insights that you require for pursuing higher education in European countries. The cherry on top for today is that this particular event is a collaborative one. We have three different DSE chapters coming together as collaborators for this venture. So, our collaborators for today are DSC, the Oxford College of Engineering, and DSC, National Institute of Engineering. Without wasting much of your time, I will be handing over the show to the host, Pavan Dandina Shivara, who is a core team member of DSC TOCE. I'm excited for this one and can't wait to make the most out of this event. I hope all of you will do the same as well. Over to you, Pavan.
Good evening to everyone. I am Pavan and I'll be your host for today's program. I am the technical lead from the DSC TOC. So for today's event, the speaker is Mr. Indrajeet Prasad. He is a well-known and a very famous personal in Instagram, and he is an NRI residing in Prague. So he finished his engineering in India, and then he was provided with an opportunity to do the future studies in Poland. So Mr. Indrajit Prasad utilized it, and then he pursued his MTech there. And then today he is the CMO and the founding member of the Pamakit.com, and he's also the ex-junior research in the European Commission's Horizon 2020 project entitled AVA, Accelerators Validating Antimatter Physics. This research consortium contains 11 of the most prestigious institutions, among which CERN, the European Organization for Atomic Research in Switzerland, and the University of Liverpool, UK, and GSI University, Germany. Indrajit Prasad has been awarded the most prestigious research fellowship, that is the European Commission's Marie Curie ITN grant, that too twice in the last 5 years. And that is a very proud concept. He was also selected by the MIT USA for a short educational program in 2016, where he realizes that a good student can reach greatness if he is provided with the right opportunity. So this program will contain two halves. In the first half, Mr. Indrajit Prasad will be presenting. Uh, and in the next half an hour, we will be having a question and answer session where the audience can interact with the speaker directly with all your clarifications and queries. So I request Mr. Indrajit Prasad to take over the stage.
So, hello everyone. I'm Indrajeet Prasad, and thank you very much, Pawan, for presenting me the opportunity to help other Indian students to get to know more about the opportunities that is there in Europe for students to study in Europe. All right, so I will be sharing my screen and start the presentation. Let me know if you guys, just confirm me, the team, if you guys can see the screen, my presentation. So I will be now. All right, so thank you everyone for giving me opportunity to present you guys with this opportunity. So first, I'll look at the Developer Student Club of Oxford College of Engineering, the National Institute of Engineering, and JSS Science and Technology for giving me this opportunity to reach large audiences and tell you all about how to, not only how to come to abroad to study, but how to get scholarship and maybe how to get into then later on working abroad. So thank you, Pawan, for introducing me. So this will be, I'll just give it in short what you already said. I'm from Kolkata. I did my bachelor's in 2007 in physics, and then after I studied electronics engineering from West Bengal University of Technology in 2011. Then after I gave a GATE examination for a master degree in India, and also I applied for Poland and Germany for my master degree. I had a rank of 845 and was called by NIT. However, I decided to come abroad and study my master's in Poland in control in electrical engineering. After that, I joined European Commission research project as an assistant researcher, first in Romania and then after in Poland. And while working as an assistant researcher when I was in Romania in 2016, I was selected to do a short research course at MIT, USA in July 2016. That was one of the greatest achievements for me. And as you already mentioned, from there, somehow I started to feel like if I can help someone, even if they are from a non-elite background in the engineering, they can reach, if they would like to reach certain university, certain position in life. And that's how my journey of mentorship and providing information to the Indian students started. In the last 3 years, I was working as a junior scientist on European Commission's research project, Horizon 2020. And CERN and University of Liverpool is one of the heads of these research projects. Currently, I also finished my MBA from Prague University of Economics and Business in 2021, this year. And that's why I'm right now in a career change, moving towards more into management and leadership positions. So currently I'm a founding member of an edtech startup, Pama Kid. I've been a guest researcher at a lot of institutions and companies, including CERN in Switzerland, GSI in Germany, Cozy Lab in Slovenia, and Texas Instruments in Germany. I've had a few publications, one textbook, which is actually available on Amazon, and 6 text journal, and 3 management conference publications as well. This is, in short, my profiling. So you guys know this has been my journey from India to abroad, what I'm doing in the past 10 years from 2011 in Europe. All right, coming back to the main topic of today's talk, finding the study course for yourself. Anyone who is studying currently in India on the bachelor's studies and would like to go for master's in Europe, the very first and daunting thing is to find out which university and which country to go. Generally, what we follow is the path that you see right now on the screen. We get to the Google university list, we try to find out what are the required documents. Then you email the admission officer, check the university scholarships or the embassy site, possible scholarship, and then we apply. That is a great way, which commonly is known to do the research when someone wants to go abroad. However, what I suggest to the student is to follow a top-down approach, right? So what is that? What I mean is anyone who would like to study abroad, right, to do master's degree or any kind of field, it doesn't matter, engineering or business or any field, the main career goal should or might be for all the student is to work, right? To work at a certain company, to work in dream company. So what I suggest to the student is to follow the next path, which I'm telling you guys as well, is to find out the top 10 or top 20 companies which you would like to work for, or which industry you would like to work in. Now, the next is check the countries and check their inclination towards that industry. So for example, if someone would like to work in automobile, check that in Europe, which countries have the highest number of companies in automobile sector, right? Now you will have an idea of, oh, all right, in this sector where I would like to work in my future career, this specific country is good at. So giving you an example, in automobile, let's say you can select Germany or Italy or France. And then the next step comes, one step deeper, is to find out which city those companies are established in. Out of those list of the companies that you have that where you would like to work in, you check which are those companies are established in which cities under those countries that you selected. So if you have selected automobile and you know that in Germany, there are a large number of automobile companies and large number of industry related that, now you'll have to find out, should you go to Munich? Should you target Frankfurt? Should you target Berlin? Should you target some other cities like Dresden or Magdeburg? So this will give you an idea, because you can check the companies which are established in Berlin, which are established in Munich under those industry, and then you will have an idea, all right, so Munich might be on top of the list in your case, because those certain companies which you would like to work mostly are established in Berlin. So the next stop for you would be to check the universities, top 10, top 5, top 3, top 2, whatever universities in that specific city of that country. So if you find out that, okay, Germany is the target country for you, Berlin is the target city for you, and then you check which universities are there in Berlin in your field of work. So then you will find out, okay, maybe Technical University of Berlin is there. So, and then there might be some other universities as well. And then you check the universities and their department where you would like to apply, if they have those projects running between those university and those companies. And you will actually find out that there are a lot of European institutions actually have those programs running between the companies and their university departments. So then you can apply to that university, knowing that in future, you will leverage this path to join those companies. And then check their university career page for any possible scholarship in that specific university. So this approach I try to suggest to the student, because here you might find that you have a little more clear idea of which country to go, which university to go, and which scholarship you might find out specific to that country or to that university. So this is, from my point of view, gives you a little more clear idea of which university and which country to study in. So now the next one is, once you have the university in your list that, okay, you want to apply here, now you will have to think about the document that is needed to apply. What you see on the screen is at least these are the documents that will be needed for the application to master degree programs anywhere in Europe, or actually anywhere abroad. First thing first, degree certificate from your engineering university. However, I am an Indian and I know that we actually might not get the university degree in hand even when we finish the degree certificate. Sometimes it takes 6 months, 7 months to get the final degree. So what I suggest is, in that case, you have a provisional degree from the university stating that you are currently in 8th semester or 7th semester, whenever you're applying. And along with that, you should have a transcript of record ready, which shows each and every semester's marks in each and every subject. So these are very important documents that you should have the first hand. Next comes CV and cover letter. So you need to have a really good cover motivational letter for specific university and the department that you're applying for. This might be helpful because if you are not changing your stream, your department, you have worked in, let's say, as an example, electrical engineering graduation in your bachelor's, and you're applying for electrical engineering for master's, you might not need to think prepare really hard for this, because you will already be in the rhythm of electrical engineering and you know what you did in your bachelor's thesis. You should write about that in motivation letter, and then you should say that, okay, in further research, I would like to go in the same department. There are motivational letters format that you will find out, you can find out from the internet, and that will be helpful as well. So cover letter or motivation letter or essay, whatever you call it, along with the CV, you should always have it ready when you're applying, or even when you are inquiring to the universities about the applications. Third one is also important, is the proof of English language certification, be it IELTS, be it GRE or TOEFL. Now, if you are coming to the Central Eastern European countries, IELTS and TOEFL is enough for the admission process. However, if you're targeting the top 10 universities, top 20 universities in Europe, for example, if you want to go to ETH Zurich in Switzerland, EPFL Lausanne, Technical University in Munich, Technical University in Berlin, maybe Imperial College London, all these top 10 university list, it'll be better if you have a GRE ready, because that will boost your application and the chances of getting acceptance is going to be higher. However, if you're targeting Central and Eastern European countries, you might not need GRE. It will, of course, always enhance your application if you have it, but IELTS academics 7.5 or 7 would be enough to get admission in Europe considering you are studying in English language certificate right now. So your engineering should be in English. And on top of that, if you have IELTS academics with 7 at least, it'll be perfectly fine for you to apply with that. Next one comes is the recommendation letter written by project supervisor or your thesis supervisor. So this would also enhance your chances of getting acceptance when you have a recommendation letters written by your supervisors. So these are the minimum documents which I would say you should be ready with when you are inquiring about the admission. So yeah, these are the documents. Now I told you about, let's say, how to select the university, which documents to have. Now the next part comes is about scholarship. Now I'll present you guys with, like as you see right now, some scholarship options in USA. So I'll present you some scholarships from different continent specific to Indian students. So these are not just any international scholarship, but these are specific scholarship for Indian students. So I will just give few number of scholarships in different continent. I'll tell you right now the numbers, and then I'll come up next one. I'll present how to, I'll try to help you guys with preparing and battling with the scholarship number of applicants and get to the final call for the final degree, right? So, all right, right now you see the scholarship to study in USA. These are the scholarships if you are a girl and you want to go for business studies. There is Women in Business Scholarship Fund for the undergrad in USA. This also funds some postgrad as well. Ramakrishna Family Scholarship. There is Cornell University Tata Scholarship, Fulbright Nehru Research Scholarship for Masters, S.N. Bose Scholarship Student Exchange Program for Indian student. This one is between the university exchange program. So S.N. Bose Scholar Student is specific to the students who would like to do the dual degree exchange between two universities. Then there is a Stanford Reliance Dhirubhai Fellowship for Indian students. These are commonly for Indian students studying in different departments. So I try to mix with business and technical because it might be informative for you guys. Some of you might want to go for business studies after your bachelor's, so that'll be helpful as well. Next one is in Australia, Sokrana Scholarship for Indian Student, India Global Leaders Scholarship, University of New South Wales, Future of Change India Scholarship, and University of Queensland Postgrad Coursework Scholarship. These are the scholarships specific to Indian student in Australia. And there are multiple other scholarship opportunities in each of the continent that I'm showing you. These are the only few numbers of scholarship which are specific to Indian students. You might Google and find out that there are also multiple other scholarships internationally which are open to applicants around the world. So you should definitely apply in those as well. However, I wanted to give you information regarding scholarships which are specific to Indian students. So you will have it extra information added after you find out in Google all other scholarships for international students, right? Next one is in Asia. There are A-STAR call for Singapore. This is one of the very famous scholarship opportunity from Singapore. This is mostly in the research. It's a research grant, so it's also master's and PhD level, both. Then there is a Henrik Full MA Scholarship in International Journalism. Then there is a HM Kings and Queens for Thailand and Silk Road Scholarship Program at Seoul. These are in Asia for Indian students. Next one comes in Europe. So these scholarships are in UK and Europe. As you can see, list is large. And actually, you might find out that in Europe, there are a lot of scholarships available for specific to Indian students apart from these as well. These few of those, you can see, first one is UCD, which is University College of Dublin for graduate scholarship, Orange Tulip in Netherlands, DAAD Wise for Germany. So Germany have DAAD Foundation, which is one of the largest fellowship program by Germany for international students. And then this one, DAAD Wise, is specific, a program of DAAD Foundation specific to Indian student is DAAD Wise. Then there is a Cherpic Scholarship from France, British Council Great Scholarship for UK, Charles Wells India Trust. Then there are LSE Commonwealth, Sir Ratan Tata Fellowship, then Sussex India Scholarship, Felix Scholarship, University of Southampton, UWE, University of Bournemouth, Business Schools. So these are the scholarships specific to Indian students to study in Europe and UK. So now I told you about, let's say, the university, how to get to the list of which university you would like to work on, which are the scholarships that you can apply, apart from those international ones. Now, what I will tell you is, let's say, a little bit of help in scoring those scholarships. What are the things that will matter when you apply for the scholarships? Remember one thing, when you're applying for studying abroad, and you're applying for university degree without scholarship, that application, and you're applying to the university with the scholarship, both of those applications will have a different weightage point and will have a different evaluation. When you apply to the university without scholarship, you might have a lenient, let's say, you might get the call, interview call, or the call, admission call, without, for example, providing English language certification because you have already been studying in English. However, when it comes to the scholarship, they do know that your language that you are studying currently, engineering, is in English. However, because it's a scholarship and there are minimum criteria of and the points and all these evaluation system, there, if you don't provide all the minimum, at least the minimum documentation that they are asking, you will lose the chance. And that is why I would like to tell you now the things that you should consider when you're applying abroad for the scholarship. Number one, prepare all the documents in advance, as I already said. All the minimum, at least the minimum documentation, which I already mentioned, should have it ready. On top of that, you can add on extra things, which I'll tell you a little more in the evaluation section. The next one, what I would suggest is to avoid applying only to the famous countries. I'm not saying avoid applying, let's say, in famous countries. I'm saying only, okay? So when you're applying for a scholarship, consider two different types of countries. So for example, if you're applying for a scholarship in Germany, Italy, France, Belgium, or Netherlands or Austria, these are the Western European countries which are really great at infrastructure and education quality and research programs and everything. However, the number of applicants that they receive in scholarship is huge. It's like a large number of applicants apply to these universities. However, if you consider Central European, Eastern European, and smaller countries, they do have scholarship options. They will also have the industry that you want to go for. However, the number of applicants might be lower, so competition might be better for you if you're not coming for the top elite class universities. So that's why I suggest to apply in both sides. Apply for the top class, let's say Western countries, apply for Eastern and Central European countries as well. Someone applying for Germany, France, Italy, Austria, Netherlands, and then you should also try to look for Czech Republic, Poland, let's say Slovakia, Slovenia, Bosnia, Croatia, whatever these small Central Eastern European countries. And you will see that the chances of getting scholarship is going to go higher, okay? And then once you are in Europe, you can plan ahead to move around in Europe. So that's not going to be a problem once you are in here. Number three, there is also another option to get to study abroad without spending a lot of money, which is if you master the local language. So Poland, Czech Republic, and a lot of other Eastern, Central European countries, even Western European countries like Germany, France, also Austria, I think. Yeah, so they teach master degree courses in their local language, right? And if you enroll in those degree programs, you might not have to pay. So for example, someone applying for university in Poland for English language master degree program in electrical engineering, as an example, and the same guy applying in Poland to study electrical engineering in Polish language with the language proficiency of C1, he will not have to pay 4,500 euros to study in Polish language, but he will have to pay that fees of 4,500 to study in English language in the same department for the same degree. So that is another way for us as an Indian student to get to Europe without spending that amount of money. Spend your time of 9 to 10 months or 1 year in mastering the language that you would like to target on. And how you know which language to study, I already told you, depending on your department and the country you select, then you know which country you would like to go, which university you would like to apply to. Try to learn the local language at the maximum effort with B2 or C1 level, and then apply in their local language. I would also suggest you to not do this if you're not confident in the language, because you will study the whole degree in their local language. It's not going to be in English. So if you just get the degree and don't practice the language and then apply after 6 months and 7 months next semester to that country with the language certification, but then you're not in the practice in the past 6-7 months, you might struggle to get high marks when you come here. So remember this factor when you're applying in the local language certification, okay? Now, next one, when you have all these things ready, you know the scholarships, you know all these small nitty-gritty thing which will help you to get scholarship. Then next comes the evaluation process of that scholarship. Now, the next screen, what I will share is going to be the evaluation, how they evaluate the scholarships, right? However, I'm presenting you with a generic evaluation process. It might be different in different universities, in different departments, right? However, the basic, generic and basic understanding of evaluation, I want to give you guys. And this is how it's gonna look. So when it comes to what they're asking, it's going to be your degree. And in your degree certification, what will matter is few factors overall. First of all, the degree grade and the overall degree certification will carry 40% of the evaluation weightage when you're considering for the scholarship. So what it means is you should have a really good academics and you should have really good marks in specialized subject in your degree certificate. So someone electrical engineering, applying for electrical engineering scholarship, if you have, let's say, a 9-point grade in your overall degree grade, however, if you have really bad marks in electrical engineering subjects, it might hamper getting the 40 to 40% in this whole weightage. So what I would say is, remember that you should have high marks in specialized subject and overall good grades in the degree grade as well. These two combined factor have 40% weightage when it comes to the evaluation in the scholarship. And this percentage number that I'm saying, it might change in different scholarship evaluation in the different scholarships as well. So sometimes they might add one extra document, they will ask you for that, and they might add extra documentation and that might value a little more. So yeah, it might be go up and down. However, the top 3-4 will have similar numbers you will see. Then comes the journal, conference papers, or job. Internship, I have provided here that, okay, job or internship. However, the mostly job is going to affect more than internship. However, if you already have, let's say, someone with a profile of 2-3 journals and only 1-2 years of job experience, will get the same 20% if someone applying for 4 years of job experience with the 4 years of job experience and no journal. But if someone is applying with 3 journals or 2 impact factor journal, 1 conference journal without job experience, he will also get good marks. So this evaluation internally will matter on them. I'm just giving you information, a generic information, so you can also evaluate yourself where you stand when you're applying for the scholarship. And then next factor will also matter how many people apply, right? Okay, the next one comes is the motivation letter, which will have 15% weightage. English language certification is 10%. I already told you guys when you're applying for a scholarship, do include English language certification, even if you studied your bachelor's degree in English, because you see, it carries 10% of marks. So you will lose this 10% directly if you don't include your English language certifications. The recommendation letters also matters 10%, and your extracurricular activities. This is dependent on different type of scholarship. Extracurricular activities might go higher in percentage if you're applying for a business degree, because they will check if you are doing some kind of leadership things in your extracurricular activities, if you're doing teamwork. But this might go lower if you're applying for totally technical master degree program. So yeah, however, it does carry some of the percentage. Okay, so now you know how to select the countries and the university, how to get to the scholarship, what are the details that should matter for you, that you should consider when you're applying for a scholarship. Now, the last part of this speech is I'm going to show you one of the very prestigious and the best scholarship program for an Indian student to study a master degree. It's from European Commission funded program, Erasmus Joint Master Degree Program. This program, as I said, why it's best and most prestigious, because this is funded by European Commission and it provides you fully funded Along with that, a stipend program as well. I'll tell you more about it, but just see the news. In 2019, over 450 Indian students got Erasmus scholarship. In 2020, despite of our pandemic situation, 134 Indian students got selected for Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Degree Scholarship. So you see, these program, there are Indian students getting selected. So I wanted to put this thing in front of you guys. So there are fully funded opportunities available for Indian students. You should know about it and you should apply for it. I'll tell you now what it is. So it's Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Degree Program for students for studying master degree for the period of 24 months. It is divided in 2 different universities. So this is a consortium integrated international study program jointly delivered by an international consortium of higher education institutions. So there are, let's say, 4 to 5 universities or 1 or 2 industry involved. They join forces together, make a project, get funded. They are funded by European Commission, and then they hire, or let's say they take admissions for the students with fully funded study program and €1,000 stipend. So under this program, student will not have to pay a dime to the university. And on top of that, you will be having €1,000 stipend, which is close to 90,000 rupees every month for your living cost, as well as you will be having extra money to go for the conferences and meetings all over the world. So this is one of the best opportunities for any Indian students who would like to come abroad and study. And this is by European Commission. So mostly this is in Europe. However, there are some programs which is running also collaboratively in the US and Brazil with their Erasmus Mundus. However, the whole focus of this program is in European Commission inside the Europe. So yeah, this one, I would definitely ask you guys to check for EMJMD catalog on the website, and you will find out that there are a lot of scholarship available for 2021 batch in computer science, in engineering, chemistry, economics, environmental science, life science. You just name it, you will find the scholarships. There are 80 plus projects in 2021 intake with a consortium of minimum 4 universities. And they have a lot of vacancies, a lot of positions right now for master degree students. And since this is very prestigious, the number of applicants they receive is also really high. So you will have to consider the evaluation process that I told you. You will have to consider those small factors that I told you, which will matter. So that is why I wanted to tell you guys about those evaluation process and those small details about the scholarship, which might help you to get this. Okay, and now it's already more than half an hour. So I also have one information about, so now I told you about select the university, select the country, and information regarding scholarship, now information regarding the European Commission scholarship. Now the next one is you are in Europe. So once you get all these things, you come to Europe. Now when you are in Europe, thinking about career ahead, you should plan ahead. When you are in Europe, you're doing your studies, you should always maintain good practical and theoretical grade in both of those scenarios, not only focusing on only one part. And whoever comes to as a student to Europe, I always recommend to travel, because that's a life experience that gives you a different type of learning. Traveling is learning. You will learn different cultures, you will meet different people, you will accept the world a little more with open arm, learning after different cultures and acceptance, right? Now, the main crucial point, which I always say, even at the start when I told you about choosing the city and the country related to your industry, because you can have the internship at the top companies in your field. And that is why I told you guys to choose in that direction, go in top-down approach of choosing the university by the industry. So when you are in that city, in that university, which are connected to the companies where you would like to work, you already have, let's say, the connection to go for the internship in those companies, because they are in your city and they are connected to the departments that you are studying. It'll be easier to get internship for you, because there are a lot of collaborating programs running between that specific office of that country, that company to that university, right? And once you are there, what I suggest, this internship happens between the first and second year for 3 months in the summer. And then after, what I suggest to the student is to ask for another extension, not for the extension of internship, however, to get a degree project from that specific country. So, for example, when you're doing your internship for 3 months, perform really good, and then ask your supervisor for a new project that you can work for a longer period of time, for let's say 6 to 7 months, and that project you might make it as a final degree project. Not the final thesis, but at least the final degree project. If you can get the final thesis from that company, that would be amazing as well. But at least get a final degree project from that company. Now, here you will have two advantages. Number one, you're going to be connected the whole second year from that industry. You will be doing internship, you'll be doing the project with them, which means you'll be networking with different people in the company. You'll be working for them, you will be showing them your performances. So when it comes to getting the final degree with good grades, if you have great grades, what you can do is leverage that network, leverage that working in the last year in the company to apply for the full-time degree in that specific company. And most of the times, actually, it's really high, number is really high, which is like 70 to 75% of the time. If you have done great job at your internship, you have done really good at the final degree project, 75% of the time, company actually offers you before you finish your degree and asks you if you would like to join the company for long-term full-time job. Because what happens is during this 1 year, they are training you to work for that specific project under the company. You already know the culture, working culture, you already know the working people who works there, you already know the supervisor of your department. So if you perform really good, the chances of you getting hired in that company is really, really high. And that is the reason I always suggest the guys to follow the other way, top-down approach of choosing the school in that way. So yes, guys, this was, let's say, overall presentation for me, for you guys about master degree program. Now I'm 10 minutes over to what I planned initially. I do have some slides regarding PhD, but I think most of you guys are in the background of bachelor's. So I will stop here. And let's say, I will just thank you guys for listening to my presentation, and probably I will open the door for any questions that you have to ask me. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that was a very informative
Welcome.
presentation. We'll be having the questions soon.
All right.
Okay, here the first question. It is from Chetan H.E. Sir, can you inform about the mechanical engineers getting job in abroad? He's asking about how mechanical engineers can get a job in abroad.
Okay, so you see, getting job abroad directly, specifically if you're asking about directly getting hired from India to abroad, is a very complex, let's say, scenario, because company will have to provide to the visa office why they're hiring from India if they can hire someone from that specific country, right? Makes sense. There are mechanical engineers in that specific country. And that is why when someone wants to get hired, anyway, it doesn't matter which engineer you're talking about, unless and until you have a number of years of experience in the top level, so 5 years, 10 years, and then specific, a certain skills that they can't find in the local country, then it becomes easier for you to get hired. Otherwise, it is very hard scenario to get hired as a fresher from India to abroad. So, but if you are studying abroad, mechanical engineering studies anywhere in the universities, then it will be the same procedure. Like you finish your studies while, and then you can apply for jobs, or you can also, as I said, follow the path of getting internship and then getting project and then applying for full-time job. So yes, that would be my answer.
Thank you. I hope Chetan has received his answer. The second question is from Sandeep Bakshi.
Sandeep.
Hi, Indrajeet. What are the opportunities for CA students in Poland?
All right, Sandeep. So thank you for your question. So what are the opportunities for CS students in Poland? The opportunities when you're in Poland is really, really high, specifically for CS students, because right now a lot of companies, specifically in computer science, are actually going to Poland. Recently, Amazon is opening one of the biggest warehouses, and Facebook is there, Google is there. So all the big companies in CS is already in Poland established, and a lot of startups and a lot of companies from around the Europe is opening their offices when it comes to Central European zone. They are opening in Poland. So there are really high chances and really great number of opportunities for computer science engineers in Poland. So yes, however, as I said already, when it comes to getting hired directly from India abroad, it will be really hard, even in computer science as well. It was not only about mechanical, but I have heard, and I have seen actually in LinkedIn, in my network, few of the guys got hired in Poland I think in Google or Facebook, either of those. But then he was actually working in the top one of the FANG company in India for almost past 10 years. So when you have experience from the top companies for 10 years, your doors are open to go all over the world for work. So that's a different scenario. For freshers, it'll be hard to get hired directly from India, but just asking about the opportunities in Poland when you are studying there computer science engineering, it's great. It's really great. Okay, I can't hear you. Sorry.
Okay, sorry, I was on mute.
Yeah.
We have a question from Basil Rashid. Can you explain what are journals?
So journals are small research. Let's say during the bachelor's, in India, a lot of students are not aware of this, because in India, we are just studying and passing the exams and things like that. However, journals are small, few pages of research, a unique research that you have done, which you would like to, let's say, publish as a journal papers. So basically, there are high impact factor journals which accepts a unique approach to solving certain problems, innovating something new, or just in a sense providing something unique value to a research done earlier. So it could be, depending on different types of journals, could be 8 pages, 10 pages, 12 pages of work, proven research work or proven project work that you have done in your bachelor's, which are unique. It's not just something which are easily available and not something unique, because journals need to have something unique that you can publish. And if you have it, let's say, sometimes people just not solve, because solving a research might be a master degree thing. However, being in bachelor's degree in your final thesis, you might discover that you are solving same problem that has been solved before, but adding a new technology to solve the same problem. That work you can publish as a journal as well. You can publish to different conferences, and you can show your research work that has been done, that you have provided the value. Those work are considered valuable when you are applying for master degree program, and those are the one that I'm talking about. And journals are different types of journals. One where you don't need to present on the stage at the conferences. You can apply, it's peer-to-peer. There are different types of impact factors on the journal. Some are valued really high in IEEE or Elsevier. Then there are normal every 3 monthly peer-to-peer journals where you submit your research work for a few pages, 5 to 6 pages. They are people who are evaluating how unique, how innovative your solution and things that you're writing is, and then they give you that, okay, you are published or not. Once you are published, you have a journal. So that's it. You are muted, Pawan.
I think Mr. Rashid got his answer. Okay, we'll have the next question. The next question is from Alka Kumari,
Alka.
and she's asking, what is the full form of EMJMD?
So thank you for the question.
What is the full form of EMJMD?
JMD. So EMJMD is the master degree program that I talked about. It's Erasmus Mundus Joint Master Degree. So it's a consortium provided by European Commission, funded by European Commission for Indian students to study master degree in Europe. And this is called Erasmus Mundus is the name of the program. Joint master degree is the degree because it's a joint collaboration between the university, and the student who get this fellowship gets a joint degree program from gets a joint degree certificate from two different universities. And that is why it's called EMJMD. So Erasmus Mundus program for joint master degree. So yes, thank you for the question.
Mr. Karam Alsati is asking, what was your biggest success story in the journey you had so far?
All right, that is a great question indeed. So thank you for asking this question. What was my biggest success story in the journey you had so far? Okay, so I mean, my journey is still going. First of all, I'm still in the path of success. I don't consider myself successful yet. There are a lot of things that I would like to achieve in life. There are a lot of things I would like to achieve in my career, in my personal life. However, until now, what I have done so far, what I consider one of the, like a few points in my life, which was that I'm proud of. Number one was getting selected to do my master's degree in Poland, as well as getting selected from GATE rank. So I had an option, an opportunity at that time to go for studying master's degree in India, NIT, or to come abroad. I chose to come abroad because I wanted to work in the research field in Europe. Because as I already mentioned earlier, that I have a background in physics, working at CERN was one of my biggest, let's say, plan of life, that I wanted to work at CERN directly, indirectly under a project, because CERN provides the different types of projects, short-term, long-term, things like that. So now, at the time when I was in India, in 2011, India was not member state of CERN. To get to CERN, there was only one option that I could do, is wait for international programs that opens for non-member state. So the opportunities were very limited. However, if someone who comes to study in Europe, stay in Europe for 5-6 years, or have a European degree, then chances were higher, and then there were more options because you have a European degree. These rules were, I'm talking about, prior to 2011. So that's why I decided to come abroad, study my master degree, start working in research field, and then I can apply to the research project combined with CERN. And that's why I came to Europe. And while studying in 2013, I think, or 14, India became member state. So the problem was solved. I had even more opportunities that I can apply. So then after that, I worked on research fields under European Commission in different projects. I was in Romania. And then I applied to the project AVA, Accelerators Validating Antimatter Physics. That was a consortium where CERN was the main member, and European Commission was the funded program by European Commission. And when I got that project, this was one of my biggest, I consider in my life, one of the biggest achievements to get that fellowship. Not once, but twice. It's really a great feeling, because that was my plan earlier, why I came abroad. And then while working for my research in Romania in 2016, I was selected for a short research program at MIT. That was also one of the milestones that I consider in my professional career until now. So yes, so far, those are, let's say, the points of success that I consider. And further on, there are a lot of plans that I have. There are a lot of things that I would like to work on forward. So yes, a lot of things will come. Thank you for the question.
Thank you, Mr. Karam. That was a very good question. And we have another question. Can I pursue my master's in a different subject if I have done my engineering in a completely different field?
Yes, you can. There are possibilities right now. Interdisciplinary subjects are welcome in a lot of universities, and a lot of students are actually switching the departments. So it depends on how different you are talking about, but there are opportunities that you can actually apply and see. However, when it comes to getting a scholarship, you might get a little, let's say, less core because the background is different. However, you can pursue your master's in different fields. Okay, let's go. I hope I answered your question. We can go to the next question. And I'm trying to speed up because we have less time, let's say. So I'll try to.
Mr. Sandeep Bakshi is asking, Is there any opportunities like MS in Bantu engineering, biomedical engineering, that is BANT, biomedical engineering?
Okay, so yes, thank you, Sandeep, for the question. There are opportunities in biomedical engineering, specifically when it comes to aerospace, defense, biotech, and automobile. Western European countries have a lot of opportunities. So you can check Germany, France, Italy, Belgium, Austria, and Netherlands. You will definitely find a lot of universities working in this field.
Thank you, Mr. Sandeep. And Ms. Prarthana Prakash is asking, so which is the best country and university to pursue masters in mechanical domain?
So yeah, thank you, Prarthana, for the question. For mechanical domain, I would still say because aerospace or automobile, these two sectors needs mechanical engineer really heavily. So considering Western European countries, you have a lot of opportunities when it comes to job as well as when it comes to university offering different domain inside the mechanical engineering as well. So definitely I would say if you're going for mechanical, consider Western Europe over Eastern Europe. So thank you for the question.
Thank you, Prarthana. Ms. Pratyusha Ravishankar is asking, what advantages do we get if we do MS in US over Europe?
The advantages of doing masters in US over Europe. Number one, what comes in my mind, which is quite a big advantage for Indian students, we are very comfortable when it comes to talking in English because we are studying in English language, right? But when you come to Europe, you might struggle in different countries with different languages. The scenario will be harsher when you enter the job market, because if you consider to switch the country, you might feel that you might need to know the local language of that specific country a little bit. When it comes to US, you don't have to worry about language at all. It's English. Second, there are number of, let's say, in the top 100 ranks of the university list, there are a lot of universities from US and less from Europe. So in Europe, because there are different countries and every country have specific number of, let's say, universities, not all the universities from every country in Europe is on the top list. However, in US, there are a lot of great universities. So I see these two advantages over US master degree from Europe. However, right now, Europe is becoming one of the hotspots for Indian students to come and study, because career-wise, you will have the growth in the same way that you can do in US or in Europe. So yes.
Thank you, Pratyusha. And Vishal Rathi is asking, so can you give some insights into master's degrees in Norway?
Yeah, so thank you, Vishal, for the question. I'm not exactly sure what insights you are looking to get, but what I would say is Norway, Sweden, or Denmark, any kind of Scandinavia countries have really good unemployment rate, which means that if you're doing master's degree in Scandinavia countries, the chances of getting offer from multiple companies are very high. And living condition in Norway is very cold. However, the degree certificates and the job post-degree certificates are really good. So there are a lot of great universities which have really highly regarded research departments or laboratories in the Scandinavia. So those are really good. So there are a lot of, let's say, universities. I think KTH is also in Scandinavia, which is quite famous, Royal Institute of Technology, and similar to that. So those master degree in those universities are highly regarded all over Europe. So that I would definitely say. So thank you for the question.
Thank you, Vishal. And we have another question. Madhav is asking, wouldn't doing masters abroad require me to take a student loan?
Yeah, and what are the chances? Yeah.
What are the chances of getting a job to pay it off?
Okay, that's actually a great question, and it's a very common question that comes in the mind of any Indian students. And the answer is not quite simple, because when it comes to getting a job, your performance matters, right? However, a lot of countries in Europe, at least a lot of Western European countries provides you post-degree visa, which means if you're, for example, in Germany, if you're doing a German certificate of master degree from any university, you will have a 9 months of visa, which says, which is like you have 9 months after finishing your degree to find a job. When you have a German degree, chances of landing a job is really, really high, because you're in Germany, you have a German degree, you know the market, you are studying their local, at their university. So yes, you have really great chance of getting accepted there. However, when it comes to getting a loan, it depends. If you can bag a scholarship, you won't have to worry about it. If you have a scholarship, but then you can pay it off when you start working there, because the payment is of course greater than what you get in India. So I would say it's not thinking about how is it if I can pay off, but it is, if you focus more on get a job while you're there, you will be able to pay off without a big issue. So that's my suggestion is. And also, just one point I would like to tell you guys here, that German universities, especially higher studies German universities, does not have high fees. So if you get accepted at German universities, you will not have to take high loan as like a big loan as well.
Okay, thank you, Madhav. Azad is asking, would there be any specific opportunities for commerce students in Western Europe?
For commerce student, well, specifically any specific opportunities means in the job market in the Western Europe, you will find a lot of opportunities in every field, guys. So it's not only about commerce and technical, you will find opportunities in every field, even in commerce, even in agriculture, there are opportunities there. However, number of opportunities might be different depending on the sectors that the company, that the country gets most GDP from. But when it comes to commerce, I see that commerce will be there in each and every industry, because you can be in the side of commerce, management, finance, in that sector will be in every industry. So I think there will be, of course, really high number of opportunities in your field as well. So next.
Shriyank Pandey has a question. What are the prospects of someone who is into graphic design and wants a career out of it?
Okay, so there are, so Shriyank, thank you for the question. The prospect of someone who is into graphics design, of course, these are right now in the market getting high number of opportunities actually in graphics design and different types of aspects of building a company, startup world, and all these things. So the opportunities are actually rising in these fields. However, first, to make a career in this field, you would need, especially in Europe, you might need to have a European degree, specifically in graphics design, that will help you to enter the job market and then continue your career in this regard. So what I would suggest is to look for art scholarship or just universities that teaches graphics design. And once you are there, it might not be a 2 years full master degree. It might be a few months, 6 to 1 year degree, but not shorter than 6 months, because that will not give you, let's say, a job market entry point. But if you go for longer degree courses in graphics design, even for 1 year, 1.5 years, you can make a great career out of it. We will be almost at the end. I can take 2 more questions.
Is having, so do you have any idea about Masters of Design in abroad?
So I do know that specifically Scandinavia and Netherlands, so University of Delft, for example, have a lot of courses in Masters of Design. So you can check in Scandinavia and Western European countries if you would like to go in Masters of Design abroad. Those are the countries probably will have higher opportunities.
Thank you, Prithvi. And Rashi Jain is asking a question. Is there any career in astrophysics in the Europe?
Yes, answering question this directly, yes, there are a lot of career opportunities in astrophysics. I told you guys, like career opportunities are there in Europe in every field. Okay, it might not be as concentrated as you find for IT, but there are career, especially when it comes to physics and astrophysics or different types of field of studies. you will have to consider different aspects in the countries. So you will have to, let's say, find specifically astrophysics in specific country. You might not have as large number opportunity as I said, but you will have, yes, there is career, but yeah, might be limited, but yes.
Okay. Sandeep Bakshi is asking how to get an internship in CERN.
All right. So CERN is one of the best place to work, highly regarded, and because of that, it's very competitive. However, there are opportunities for internship in CERN, and you can actually even find out right now. For this summer, let's say there is no vacancy anymore in this summer because it's already ending. Selection procedure already starts in May. But if you want to go for internship at CERN, check the CERN career website. You will have all the details about what documentation you might need to submit. So you just need to find out the documentation from CERN website itself, and you will see. If you want to get, let's say, a little bit more information how and what to write, then I would say one of my scientist friends have made a blog which is called Tau Bytes, TAU, and bytes like gigabytes and megabyte, taubytes.com. You can find the information regarding how to write motivation letter, how to write CV to get internship at CERN. Probably that will be helpful. So thank you very much. But definitely you will find all the information about internship opportunities at CERN at their career website.
Okay, sir, that is all the questions we have. Thank you for patiently answering each and every question in detail. And a big thank you for you for accepting our invitation and giving such helpful insights about higher educations and abroad and the vivid range of scholarship opportunities available. Thank you very much. And I hope all of our viewers have received enormous amount of knowledge from this event. And I also wish to express my gratitude to the Developer Student Club for creating such a good platform where such good speakers can share valuable knowledge with young minds. And I am further grateful for all the core members of the DSC, the Oxford College of Engineering, DSC National Institute of Engineering, and the DSC JSS Science and Technology University. And on behalf of the DSC and the entire team, core team of the DSC, and on behalf of me, I extend my grateful, heartfelt thanks to Mr. Indrajeet Prasad. And last but not least, I would also like to thank our faculty advisor, Dr. B.K. Manjunath, for supporting us in all aspects, and the DSC Oxford College of Engineering for inviting Mr. Indrajeet Prasad for today's event. And thanks for DSC JSS SEU for providing their YouTube channel for streaming the event today. Thank you, everyone. All the viewers, thank you for joining us. I hope you all are clear. And you can directly contact Mr. Indrajit Prasad through his LinkedIn or his Instagram handle. And both the links are provided in the chat box of the YouTube stream. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, guys. Thank you. Have a great day. And I hope I provided information that you guys needed. So thank you very much. And as you said, you guys can ask any question if you have further in my Instagram. I do quite often live as well, so I can answer you guys there as well. So thank you very much for the show, and have a great time.
Thank you very much. It's the pleasure is all ours. Thank you, sir.